Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder. Today, Jackson Financial Inc. JXN just filed their latest 8K, showing the results of their annual shareholder meeting, and I am seeing a few key takeaways from this. Quick note, this is not financial advice, just my take on public filings for educational purposes. The meeting covered director elections and auditor ratification, and the voting results are pretty much what you'd expect for a company like this, with overwhelmingly positive outcomes. Let's dive into the actual event coverage. The company held its annual meeting of shareholders on May 21, 2026. Think of this as the yearly checkup, where shareholders get to vote on important company matters. At the meeting, the number of shares outstanding and eligible to vote was about 70.4 million. Out of these, over 62.5 million shares were present either in person or by proxy, which indicates a good level of shareholder participation. Now, the first major item was electing the board of directors. These are the folks who oversee the company's strategy and management. All 9 director nominees were elected, and the vote counts are very lopsided in favour. For example, Lily Fu Claffey received over 55 million votes in favour, with only about 376,000 against. This level of support is standard for well-established companies where the board is usually re-elected without much fuss. The directors will serve a 1-year term. It really shows that the current leadership has the backing of the shareholders. It is also worth noting the broker non-vote number, which was over 6.9 million for the director elections. This happens when a broker holds shares on behalf of a client but has not received voting instructions. These votes themselves do not count for or against a proposal, but they do show up as present at the meeting, impacting quorum. Next up was ratifying the appointment of KPMG LLP as the independent auditor for the fiscal year ending the 31st of December 2026. Auditors are super important because they check the company's financial statements to make sure they are accurate. Again, the shareholders voted overwhelmingly to approve KPMG, with nearly 60.8 million votes in favour, out of around 62.5 million total votes cast for this item, showing strong confidence in the audit firm. The last item on the agenda was a non-binding advisory vote on executive compensation, often called a say-on-pay vote. Shareholders are asked to approve the pay packages for the top executives. In this case, the executive compensation was approved by a significant margin, with over 54.2 million shares voting for it. This suggests that shareholders are generally comfortable with how the company is compensating its leadership. There were about 1 million votes against and a couple 100,000 abstentions, which is normal, and doesn't usually signal major discontent given the overall tally. Now, as is standard with these filings, the company included a safe harbor statement. This is basically a disclaimer for any forward-looking statements made in the report. They are warning investors that things like future plans, strategies, and outcomes are not guarantees and could change due to various risks and uncertainties. This is a common practice to protect the company from liability if future projections don't pan out. It is a reminder that while the past meeting results were very positive, the future outlook for any company always carries unknowns. Finally, the filing concludes with standard administrative exhibits, including the cover page interactive data file, which uses XBRL for electronic tagging of financial information. This is essentially the digital filing format that regulators use to process and analyze corporate reports. Looking at the overall picture from this particular filing, Jackson Financial Inc. JXN appears to have strong shareholder support for its current board and auditors and executive compensation policies. The high vote counts in favor of all proposals indicate stability and shareholder confidence in the company's governance. While this report doesn't delve into deep financial numbers, it paints a picture of a well-supported company from its stakeholders' perspective. The company's focus on its annuity sales, as hinted in recent news, combined with this stable governance, suggests a steady path forward, though the disclaimer about forward-looking statements is a necessary caution for any investor. The risk I am watching is how the broader economic conditions might impact annuity sales in the coming year, which is not covered in this specific filing but is a key factor for companies like Jackson. Oh, and the research tools I actually use are linked in the description. They help keep this channel going. That is my take. Stay decoded. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more deep dives. Join our Discord in the description.